low level because they're dealing with the aggro and sharing EXP, they're not going to be able to pressure Elk on the map.
Yeah, this feels like an EG special. They run this like aggro tri lane, this Arteezy playing in the off lane more than anyone else, and they're going to force Mirana already to kind of TP up and go for a full tri lane versus tri lane.
Well, and this sets us up for some really interesting things in the mid game as well. Sometimes these tri lanes end up just being, you know, the two safe lane carries sitting back to the jungle and farming afterwards. But we saw that Beastmaster stat, one of the top heroes right now getting picked all across, and it feels like Lelis as well as iceiceice are going to be two of the main players in this one that need to, you know, just make the big moves together and be the ones setting the tempo around the game.
I like at top, both Crit and MSS, they both bloody blocked the big camp. I think both sides not wanting it to spawn. I'm not sure who it actually benefits more. EG have the side pull, MSS has the arrow to clear the creep, but seems like both wanted to block it.
Go on top.
Nice combo as they throw out the arrow, able to connect, fly, in some trouble, and one last punch from YawaR, able to get the kill. Despite it being a little bit down in CS, very deadly tri-lane up here for Quincy crew.
That was a really nice sidestep from YawaR. He has like the presence minder going on to CM, she's arrowed, but he's attack animation canceling, so he can get just out of the crystal nova range. If he gets hit by that nova, they don't get the kill. Just flies the solve there to live. It's a pretty big difference maker.
See that already having a pretty close going of it up top here as Crit hiding off in the trees, and looks like they're going to spot him LOA and MSS, but not really a kill potential if YawaR's not nearby.
Abed's doing really well in mid so far, by the way. 11-2 to the 5-2 of Quinn. Gets another deny, and yeah, Quinn's having a bit of a rough time early on. He's trying to rush the bottle, which is partly why he's having a bit of a struggle in this lane.
Abed actually already has his completed though, so definitely, I mean, I think everybody's been talking up Quinn and how good he's been out of the mid this entire season. Abed's showing obviously no slouch either. This dude is really freaking good at Dota as well.
I think the interesting lane this game is going to be bottom, because this has always traditionally been like a Tidehunter counter pick, but you're facing like, it's even worse because you're facing iceiceice and you're on ping. Like that sounds really rough. Oh, they're going on top. Constructor goes down.
Played. Be able to find themselves a little kill here as well. Yeah, so do you think that it's mainly going to be like sort of how does Lelis manage to find farm in this lane, or you think it's like that he's how do you play this if you're him?
I think you're screwed at this point, to be honest. Like you're on ping in your off lane versus Tidehunter who got to double wave you. Like it's a really hard matchup. Like EG are actually just stomping these lanes. Medusa got that first blood, but this lane decision by EG was really good, because if you just put a Tidehunter versus Medusa, like this is really good versus Tide and lane, because you just you keep nuking him down with your Mystic Snake for free, and you just keep pushing the lane into him. But right now, like I think there's a beyond free farm Tidehunter.
Oh my god.
Solo kill mid lane.
Dude,
Wonka.
This game started off by Quinn and Arteezy tipping each other, and Abed has just sort of come in and like started wrecking here mid, looking really good on this puck.
Yeah, and 4-minute runes coming up. Quincy have their supports ditch the top lane for now. Crit is trying to secure it for Abed, but luckily MSS able to snag the invis rune. Otherwise, this mid lane would have been a disaster if Abed got the bottle refill.
Yeah, it's a good clutch by MSS there. I think, man, this game's not looking the greatest for Quincy crew right now. I think they're gonna have to rely on when Quinn hits 6, he needs to like TP to the tri lane and kill them, and hope that Abed does have resources for a good counter gank. Mid though.
Yeah, can he get the return kill?
This would be good. Yeah, I mean, he thought about going all in for that one. Ends up expending a good amount of resources here. And Abed is just going to have the salve brought back out. Tries to regen up, and we'll see if he can get the bounty rune afterwards, I guess.
That's a really nice salve by Abed, because he killed Quinn, right? And the response of a lot of players is to buy like some small items and be greedy, but instead Abed, he brings the salve knowing that he killed him and Void Spirit's gonna be up on resources. He doesn't want to lose in a bounty rune fight.
Oh, and he orbed aggressively to go steal this bounty.
That is really good.
Holy moly, that's so good. And that means 4, or is that just 3? 3 of them going the way of EG.
You guys can imagine, like, if he had to walk back to base there, Void Spirit's gonna have bounty rune control, and then he's gonna have to spend a TP to mid, and then Void Spirit's gonna hit 6, and he's gonna TP top and kill him, and Puck will have no TP. But instead, like, there's no play option for Quinn now. It's just
and
like...
Quinn had no way to refill his bottle, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Now Quinn's down to resources. He's going for a play mid.
Fritz here though. It just feels like a slow and steady lead. Good arrow there, able to connect onto crit, and that might keep alive and maybe even set up a counter goal. Although no, Quinn went in aggressively. Abed not able to find the follow-up there onto Void Spirit. Things getting really testy as 5 heroes are mid.
And this next rune's going to be very game-changing. Both the mids have no resources.
Abed's not even going for it. He realizes he has no supports to help secure it, so it looks like Quinn's going to get it for free. Yeah, both top and bottom room being secured for Quincy, so nice play from them.
They use coil and 2 jumps there on Void Spirit, and now Puck is hopefully for Quincy. He's going to have to TP mid here. This is a wagon about to his tower. So he TPs mid. This is like Quincy's opportunity to get back in the game.
They do have a bit better farm on Medusa over the last couple of minutes. We can see that she's been able to catch up to the Alchemist. Again, it's against an Alchemist. But as you said, that big problem is the lane down bottom. And you can see iceiceice, his 100th game of Tidehunter. And he is absolutely owning it. 41 and 14 on the CS here, just 6.5 minutes.
He said in the interview, you know, he's going to win his lane if he has even slightly even matchup. This is not an even one, and he is crushing it. Going for a kill with a Ravage down bottom. Crit's there to follow it up with an Impale. That'll kill off Leslau.
All right, really good stuff here across the board for Evil Geniuses. They're going to try and find a follow-up here. Arteezy does a little shuffle step, able to back away, and they can't get anything as mid. Drop the silence, drop the coil. They're on Quinn yet again. Tries to live through this one. Do they have any more nukes? They actually don't. Able to live with that resonant pulse, and now Abed quite able to get the finish off there onto Quinn. Jex up there to the north and will not be able to find him. It looks like
he's still looking.
Yeah,
he's scanning, he's jaunting in, but yeah, Quinn's back to base.
I think these raindrops have been pretty MVP in the mid lane. Like both mid laners are surviving just off this one item. Quinn's even buying a second raindrop.
Yeah, I bet you went through like 4 charges in that one mid clash earlier, and yeah, had one there.
So, like sort of more macro looking at this game, how much does it matter that EG are coming out ahead, like in the lanes? It's not an absolutely huge margin like we've seen in some of them, but it's definitely a win.
I think it's a. I mean, lanes are always important, but I think it's specifically a big deal when you have this Alchemist lineup.
Yeah.
The thing about like trying to push aggressively into Alchemist is that if they have a hero that can just sit in front of your entire team and wall off like that area with the map for him to farm, like Tidehunter, and he's having a good game, like you can't run through to him. I said like you don't have to like all in run at the Alchemist, but you do still need to put some map pressure, right?
Okay.
Like ideally it's just not like, oh, if we mess up one time in our pressure, we're gonna lose the game. And I don't see him moving past this Tidehunter to farm EG's camps right now.
They smoked, I believe, under a ward because, yeah, iceiceice is hugging behind his T1 tower. He seems to know exactly what's going on, and yeah, the Alchemist is also just a full almost, what, 700-800 gold ahead of Medusa. It just feels like Alka's going to hit his item timings well before the Medusa comes online, at least at this rate.
You get a couple of items there, Possessed Mask on the ground, as well as I think a Fairy's Trinket we saw. Which is going to be pretty good for Quinn, if that's what he's got coming out. Still bottling this DD, and you can see this extended move down bottom to try and set up something, either taking the tower or what have you, with the Necro books that Leslau has, is not going to work. Likewise, though, YawaR, he's been able to farm in the jungle, so it's not all lost for Quincy crew.
Abed's stealing enemy stacks here.
Yeah.
Like, he's just playing this economy game, it feels like, where Quincy's making the smoke move, sitting bottom, not doing anything. Crit's got the wave mid to get some gold as well as XP, so it just feels like EG's getting more right now.
Ooh. Jet, though, trying to go onto Crit, able to find a kill. Get something out of it, but again, down bottom, Ravage. They turn this now onto the Witch Doctor. They're going to use the Roar afterwards and trying to buy just a little bit of extra space for themselves. So Ravage used, but they hold on to that tower, and iceiceice obviously living through it as well.
Is under attack.
Oh, Fly could be in some trouble here.
Quinn?
Our fight over the rune.
That was really weird. Okay.
Trying to leave for Abed, but yeah.
Not gonna get it. And now Quinn trying to chase down the puck. This is a little bit deadly. Get up close and center. But the coconut is going to bounce back to the creep camp. Quincy crew just going to try and out-farm that one a little bit away from EG.
I think Quinn didn't have a jump there, and Fly was trying to save the rune, so it just ended up looking really awkward there.
Bottom feeder.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how Quincy crew like try to open up the map and get some tier 1s. It just looks impossible against this Tidehunter. Like if you have all your tier 1s up, like it's really hard to push forward, of course, right? And this Tidehunter's just gonna go to any tier 1 they push and just stand there. I mean, obviously he's really fat, like this Tidehunter. I don't think they can touch him this game.
Yeah, he's about to finish the hood, which is gonna give him a lot of extra survivability as well.
And he has a possessed mask, which is honestly when you gank him, like if you hit a creep wave, like you're getting an extra couple hundred HP from that.
Crazy. It's like all the extra strength too. It's just
That's a really good item for him.
Good. Things definitely going well for EG as Arteezy continuing to farm. This is where we've seen him so many times throughout this league, is just on the other side of his map while the rest of his team does stuff. And it doesn't even necessarily feel like EG really have to make that many moves. It feels like the impetus is on Quincy crew to be making those moves, and they're gonna try and do it now.
Oh,
they got level 6 Witch Doctor.
They got scanned coming in.
Oh, they knew.
Arteezy heads up. I don't know if it's him scanning. Whoever did just saved his life.
They're gonna try and move through the jungle here and find him on the backside. This is a good move from Quincy crew. If they can find it for the kill, jump in. Coconut connects the Maledict as well. He has taken a ton of damage, and that might just be enough to take him down. Arteezy will pop to the Maledict in a moment. Maybe, yes. Quinn gets the kill. It comes at the cost of LOA. You take that one every day of the week. But if they lose Quinn now, that might be a little bit worse for YawaR. YawaR comes out, trying to show up. Let's File turns on to crit, finds that kill. So they find another follow-up pickoff, and YawaR moving into position, but the Ravage comes out in time. MSS now moving over, trying to take down Fly. They're fighting in the jungle. Let's Loud going to drop. Abed gets out. Now iceiceice is just going to walk at YawaR and say, come and deal with me. Drop him out. That's on the ground. Oh, what a guy.
Classic iceiceice. Huge team fight. I mean, both teams play that well with like some really nice responses, but you know, I think Quincy gonna be happy they killed the Alchemist, but it did come at pretty heavy costs.
Yeah, I think right now Quinn doesn't really have a game. Like he's way lower in net worth than even I thought he would be. I don't actually know what happened. I think it's because he was just trying to hang on bottom. Like he feels like he has to force something to happen this game, but he's like sacrificing his game to do it. They're going on bottom a little bit.
Trying to do something here, but again, this is a big fish man. They might eventually kill him though with no Ravage. So iceiceice just a bit too far forward, and MSS lets him know how he feels about it.
that was an insane play. Like,
yeah.
The tier 1's alive, you're like basically at the tier 2. I mean, he's not top net worth on his team, so it's not too bad, but actually, I just mentioned like Quinn doesn't have a game, that actually gives him something. Because it was a lot of EXP for him.
A little
also,
bit
once Tidehunter's dead, they might pressure this bot tower, which is huge. More importantly, if he revives here, uses TP, they might be able to get a different tower.
Yeah, and no Ravage for 60 seconds. So the combo of the Ravage and then, like you said, that death has really opened things up for Quincy crew.
Really, but Quincy, they have 4 heroes down here. Are they going to make this play?
I mean, it's a smoke up from Puck and Fly as well, but they know iceiceice is back here. He has no way out. Their Coconut going in. Maledict as well. Everything's dropped on his head. And iceiceice is just dead. They're canceling. Oh, they're still going in with the TPs. Abed goes in for the coil, connects on it to him. Fly there as well. Wants to pop the ulti and make something happen here. But in the end, it's MSS and LOA. Although if they can get less loud too, that would be big. YawaR moving in.
So much damage.
Has the stone gaze. Needs to make something happen here. The silence onto several. Less Loud goes down. Doesn't quite connect, but then you gets the puck. And Abed dropping now. A couple quick and important kills from Quincy crew. EG still took down 3, and Quinn's looking for more as he finds crit here. Hiding behind the tower. A couple more punches is all he needs. And a double kill for Quinn. Quincy crew are kind of pulling this back a bit.
That's a really good play from them. I mean, of course, Oak was farming the entire time, so the gold didn't change. But I think the EXP, I don't actually know what to check. I think we went over this last time I casted. I don't know to check the EXP graph. That looked good for them.
F7, there you go. We got it.
Nice. All right. Yeah, so it's a big EXP swing for them. They're on Alchemist here too.
Oh, LOA gonna steal it. Nice. Will he die for the other one? No, he's
looking for it. In the meantime, Fly was able to get the bounty rune up top, but he does pay for the price of that one with his life.
Yeah.
It's an Alchemist bounce rune, so you feel pretty good at with that as fly, but oh man, they got the bot tower so they can actually play Dota, so that's like a huge sign of relief from the Quincy crew side. And more importantly, Quinn's actually starting to get a game. Like in the last couple minutes, he got like 1500 net worth or something, maybe 3 minutes, which is like, it's not amazing, but it's more than you expect. Like with this poor start, I think.
Yeah. Plus the levels, he was like level 9 or 10 when I was like, he's already
huge.
level 12. Like,
I mean, you can see like how Quincy crew like watched. Oh, what a combo! Oh, that was spicy.
And now Crit is forced back and away, giving the tip back to Abed. Combo.
Yeah, this Void Spirit versus Puck matchup is actually a sick matchup because they both counter each other, right? Ooh, Arteezy charging up the stun. What? Please walk up to the high ground.
Dire have a ward though. They sold himself, son.
It connects. Arteezy's in trouble. They got him
Ravage
under
to the right.
Oh, Maledict down. It misses onto Arteezy though. That's gonna be a punishing one, and they gotta back out now. Everybody tries to retreat. Quinn went a bit too far. In the meantime, they did get that tower. And it looks like they're likely going to lose LOA. Leslau should have a free path out of there. But yeah, they take down that Witch Doctor.
It's a very nice Chad play by Arteezy there. He knows that like he has SMY Battle Fury at like 16 minutes. Even if you max arrow stun him with like all the stuns of Quincy crew, he's not going to die there. He's Ravage behind him. Very nice map control play.
They're setting up on him again though. Up top, comes out, arrow afterwards, and well, SNY is nice, but when you don't have chemical range, a little bit.
Alright, you need the chemical range and the Ravage behind you. Those are the conditions, you know?
Yeah. I think, the Ravage is the big one. When iceiceice is there, they have no... It basically, you know, stunning all of the Beastmaster summons and all the right-click damage, it just changes everything.
Yeah, even just like one Crystal Nova with his Auton, he can't die. But like if you're alone like that, that's a little rough. That was a... I mean, Arteezy sometimes has those deaths, but it's still pretty out of character for him. And yeah, no, that's huge for Quincy crew, for sure.
Sideline as Crit goes Vendetta, now trying to chase down Quinn, but they don't have a sentry ward around. They have one over to the side now.
He's about to run into it.
Ooh.
He's just on the edge of it.
Oh, Crit's so good.
Oh my god.
Oh, they see the Alchemist channeling stun.
Now that's still going to be a dead LOA, but Quinn should be able to make his way out of here.
Ooh, triple range creep for Alchemist. Feels good, man.
Nice. Going this same like outfield that we've been seeing, the SMY, well, Battle Fury, SMY, Heart, and AC. It feels like once Out gets these 4 items, you kind of reach this kind of unkillable status.
The Quincy could have some really good wards up though, I gotta say. There's some nice vision right now. I think once Witch Doctor gets up, he's gonna TP somewhere and smoke them. They have his OT up, and they want to use this. Oh, he almost has Orca Voice Spirit, so they're gonna get that, and then they're gonna go, I think.
You can see there the Puck Void Spirit matchup 31-30, so clearly it's going to be 31 each after this game.
Hey.
If we want to keep that balance.
Who's leading right now?
Good question. I missed it.
It looks like Void Spirit is. Knoxville's yelling at us in Discord, so shout out to him, keeping us honest.
Okay, Smoker from EG here. They have Blink Dagger on the Tidehunter. They're looking for this Medusa. I think SCG might tank the smoke. He's walking a really nice path.
Can they hit? Oh, hello? That's fine. Perfectly happy with that. And they even got most of the Ancients on their way out as well. Nice little move there, but EG, 5,000 gold lead. You know, Medusa's been able to keep up fairly well, but I think it's what you're mentioning, what you mentioned earlier about like this sort of discrepancy between Quinn and Puck and how much Abed has this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually a bit surprised iceiceice doesn't have more, which like looks good for Quincy crew. I thought with that start he was just gonna like completely hold the game together and like he's some Iron Wall. They're gonna go for a smoke carry wrap on tier 1 mid and try to get that. They have Necro 3. I think Jenkins was mentioning it, but this new quote on Necro 3, you just pop that shit and you always have it.
They scout iceiceice with the Hawk, but they don't want to go on him. Instead it looks like Fly's gonna get picked off.
Nice.
They might turn this on Void Spirit.
Abed? He drops down the
Abed has no backup though.
Gone.
Abed's such a Chad.
I think Abed's dead. Maybe
He's
not.
got a blink.
Jump.
has been killed.
Tries to get
he's
out of
fine.
there. All right.
Oh, bro, Abed never dies in those types of fights. He's just he's actually, I think he's the best in the world at that. Like the small skirmishes, split pushing the map. Like I coached him for a while. He just never dies. Just chill.
Beastmaster was like halfway through a raw animation, but it never really felt like Puck was gonna die at the same time.
Movement up towards the top side now. It looks like EG want to try and control this area of the map. Obviously, we haven't seen anything akin to that, like taking a tier 2 tower before the 20-minute mark, but there is still a pretty pronounced lead that you've got on Evil Geniuses as they finish off the AC on Alchemist. Also have an Arcanum Shard.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the shard is nice because you can get rid of the Spirit Vessel charge. I feel like that's usually you see this shard come up later on after the Heart of Trask, but I think Arteezy realizes he's a little bit vulnerable and wants to have that Dispel. He can also save his teammates theoretically with it as well with the Dispel against like the Orchid.
Oh, that's really good actually. You can take off the... Do you know how, is it instant or is it like how fast is the potion?
I think it's the same speed as the Unstable Concoction.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've only seen Alks use it on themselves.
Yeah, when I bought it, I only cast on myself because it gives me attack speed.
Ice mid. Needs to be careful. Ravage is down. Ooh, like careful though. And now the turnaround with the Ravage. Oh, it would have been huge if they could have killed Ice, but it didn't work out. Now hopping to Stone Gaze and trying to back out of there. Still got their eyes on Ice. Down comes from those Necro Books, taunted and killed. 1 for 1, at least for now.
Ooh, they're gonna turn with Arteezy here.
Okay, and silence there, onto 1 from that Orchid. Throws the potion, gonna keep Fly alive. And it looks like that might be the end of the engagement unless they decide to go for more on EG.
So that's Ravage down. It was Ravage for Dusal, and Dusal's a lot lower cooldown, so we might look at Quincy crew trying to take this mid tower. EG have this Aegis, but honestly it's like it's an Alchemist Aegis. If you die with it, you don't have ulti and stuff anymore.
Right.
Feels like they're gonna just be farming with it and kind of almost, if anything, use it just to deny it from Quincy getting it at any point, because I feel like Quincy with a Medusa Aegis, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean it's a type of Aegis where if you farm with it and you prevent the enemy from making any plays, like you just feel really good about it. You do look for a fight when you have like a minute or so left on it, but you're not like stressed to do something with it. That's actually my favorite type of Aegis.
In fact, it's interesting. Quincy crew are the ones that are feeling much more confident moving around that. They even pressure this tier 2 tower down bottom a bit.
Yeah, with no Ravage, I think they feel pretty strong.
Light. SS spots out Abed.
Big catch up. Nice.
Gets him caught. Arrow. Oh, taunted. Not quite able to get the kill, but will die to the Silver nonetheless. And now
dive
pressure for
iceiceice
bottom.
here.
Gotta be careful. Trying to get out of there. Roar. Oh, gonna get it off in time. Quincy crew find themselves yet another. As Evil Geniuses being bullied back in spite of having that Aegis. And as you said, that Ravage, it's just so important.
This is a incredible play by Quincy crew, honestly. They're identifying that like EG right now, if they don't have Ravage, they lack the like control plus damage in a team fight to they lack the control and damage in teamfight to really kill anything. Like Deuce is gonna press Stone Gaze, which you have before Ravage, and you know, EG got a 20-minute Aegis and they're losing racks.
Yeah, this is unreal.
That's crazy.
Arteezy didn't have a TP to come back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they could afford it even with Arteezy, but yeah, that is wild.
I think
such impressive play from Quincy crew, and you can see now, you know, down to just a 3,000 gold lead. As you said, Rax going the other way. They can have an option to take over the outpost if they want. But I don't know. This game feels like it's completely fallen over on his head, and they get out right as Ravage comes back up. Does this change at all with Ravage up now?
Yeah, EG are still definitely in this game. Like the Rax doesn't matter that much, especially with the Alchemist. Like you don't actually lose that much gold from the lane pushing in. Obviously, to show that hero, but they have some pretty good lane pushing cores. I think a big thing is that once Medusa gets this BKB, like they don't have anything to touch her on EG. Like you can't right-click Medusa with Alchemist for a long time, and like people say Nyx counters Medusa, but honestly, like if you can't teamfight as Nyx, then you're pretty sad. So in a way, like that matchup can go both ways for sure.
Push smoke up now as they're heading to the bounty runes. Doesn't look like Quincy and EG will meet each other here.
Damn, Lesal just got pinged. I saw that. He was trying to deny the bounce rune bottom with his boar, but just barely. Like the animation went on CM first, and he canceled. Tried to go for a bounce rune, but it's too late.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, taking the 2 lanes now, while EG are gonna pressure out bottom.
Dire's structures.
I mean, Quincy are pretty happy with this. This Aegis is gonna time out, and they're like sort of trading farm after they like. Usually when one team gets an Aegis, like that team gets the aggressive play and gets map control or whatever, right? But this time, like Quincy got bot racks, and now they're just trading farm on the map. They traded triangles, which I think is pretty good for Quincy Crew right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, this puck's really vulnerable mid. He has a good sentry there. Preemptive sentry to make sure there's no mid ward.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Again, the wards being placed down. I mean, it's basically just been taken off the map with these Necro 3s. It's been so nice, I think, constantly for Quincy Crew just to have access to it. And as long as they're not contained inside their base, you got pretty much free reign. You're always going to have that vision advantage, Beastmaster.
Yep, BKB and 1000 gold for Beastmaster, BKB and 400 gold for Medusa. They're gonna want to use that timing, and even a Solar Crest coming out from Mirana, 500 gold. They have a really good timing come up here. Triple core BKB plus like how Dota works. You should think about like when you Solar Crest your Medusa, like you're giving her 80 attack speed, but how damage multiplies in Dota, you're actually giving her a lot more network than that. Because like you get damage and it multiplies by attack speed for DPS, right? So like you might add 4k network to Medusa, but like you guys have played those games where it's like 120k hero, like he's way stronger than 2 10k gold heroes, right? So they're just gonna all amp up this Medusa, Beastmaster or Vlad's and Solar Crest, and he's honestly gonna be the same net worth as Alchemist or higher in effective damage.
Plus the bullwhip, MSS using the bullwhip on Medusa as well.
Of course.
Got all the buffs.
What a guy.
But EG, they're smoking but not finding a whole lot. They've reclaimed their triangle a little bit as far as trying to do some dewarding, but there's still some vision there. Quincy Crew just in general constantly maintain great map presence and map control with all their wards.
Vision, they spot Abed here. He's used an orb. Can they
Got the
catch
linkage
him?
at least.
Jason, ooh, good jump away. Fly just barely outside of range, and they got to be careful about this. Arteezy channeling up that stun. They have vision here though. They see that he's gonna self-stun, and it doesn't look like they want to chase that one. A bit too scary.
They should do a Kaidi chase here. He is Alchemist out. They know they can take control of the area.
Right before that happened, they got Elven Tunic too.
Oh yeah, that's a really good item, Medusa. He was actually sporting some mediocre tier 2 item before that, like Quicksilver Amulet or something. And Quinn had the Aquila, which is sort of weird, but maybe he needs armor. I think, honestly, like, this game, like, I think this gets said a lot, but it'll come down to the initiation. I think if they get a good, like, Ravage into Alchemist stun and blow up one hero, like, that's how EG can win the team fights right now. Like, Quincy Crew are down 6k, but they're not weaker in team fights right now.
I mean, so many times we've just seen this like big pile of money that's the Alchemist that, you know, if he doesn't manage to get a good, you know, either ult off in fight or if he has to run away because he's getting bursted down, things could just feel really, really bad.
Yeah.
And possible to respawn in 30 seconds. Quincy Crew waiting on that one. They're just playing around this area and still getting pretty decent farm.
I think something like that's important to think about as a carry player is like, how am I going to right-click people this game? Luckily for Arteezy, like in those games where Alchemist gets kited, he probably doesn't have like a puck Tidehunter next, right? Like all 4 of his heroes, you can see this draft is set up for the Alchemist to right-click people, which is obviously really smart by EG.
Well, the perhaps caveat to that is there's 3 BKBs now on Quincy Crew, so I think they've itemized knowing that. Yeah, we need to not get stunned, or this Alchemist will kill us. But
yeah,
I think that's where what you mentioned about the initiation comes into play, where EG need to blow somebody up before they can pop their BKB.
Yeah, that's really smart actually, because you can think about if you think about Quincy Crew's lineup versus EG's, all they have to do is wait out this Alchemist ulti. If they wait out the Alchemist ulti, there's no damage. Like, Abed is trying to go for a Desolator, but honestly, I don't really see him being that big damage dealer for someone like Medusa.
Ooh,
Is up, they see them.
Roche, quick respawn. iceiceice, use blink. He is crazy.
You see a Tidehunter, the crazy Tidehunter blinks her, and you run at him and cast him as a 5 Witch Doctor. Yeah.
He's got the shard, that's why he can be a little bit even more of a frontliner. We've already seen him tanking smoke ganks, but with the shard, you have that kind of self-save.
Buyback status right now. A lot of Radiant have it. They're very, very close on Tidehunter. Dire about a couple hundred gold on all of these different heroes away from having
Arteezy's
buyback.
just going high ground. He's just ignoring this. He's going for the base.
I mean, this is a pretty neat play. They're going to be able to take down Rosh in time, though, it feels like. So they're giving up the tier 3 for Aegis, it looks like, and Abed maybe trying to make a counterplay at the same time. But you can't afford to give it up and then also lose the tier 3. Abed moving in. He's going after it. Leslau has the roar available, thinking about going for it. Drops it instead onto the Nyx. And Aegis going to go the way of Quincy crew. At the meantime, Arteezy's hitting the melee racks, but they're all coming back now. Pops the BKB, wants to finish this one off. TP's out of there. And so it is going to be a melee racks for the Aegis.
Okay, I think that's better for Quincy crew personally. They're going to drop a coil, actually, looking for the MSS kill up top.
MSS is really
so tanky.
He's scary.
Yeah, that was really good for Quincy crew for sure. I agree with you.
Like, just having this Aegis cheese on Medusa, they can just go push any lane, take any fight, it feels like. Like, yeah, you lost a melee racks, but that's not something that's going to really change the state of this game at all.
Especially, I think mid racks is particularly weak. If you look at like how the map works, right? Like, you want your heroes, if you're stronger, you want to be in the middle of the map, right? Because from the middle of the map, you can go anywhere. So if they have the mid racks, your heroes are going to be there anyways to push it out. You don't feel bad getting forced to middle. If they got top racks, then you have to send a hero all the way back to your side lane. Like, that actually means something in Dota. Okay, you know?
7,000 gold lead still in the favor of Evil Geniuses. But this game, I'm not really sure how to rate it right now. Like, is there a lead that you kind of get to with EG where he starts like giving out? I mean, he's got a rapier queued up. I guess that sort of tells us where EG feel like this game is going.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's any ags. I mean, the puck ags is very good against these BKBs, but...
Oh, okay. That's why he's not getting eggs. Okay, because I was actually thinking he saw like 3 core BKBs not getting eggs on puck. Felt a bit weird, but you can always get them Alchemist later. So I do think Arteezy should probably give him the eggs at some point.
Maybe feeling like the rapier comes first, but here we go.
Yeah,
Quincy
maybe.
smoked
They are
up.
knocking damage.
Ice, big blink Ravage available right here, but they're in the Moonlight Shadow. Oh, they have
Seems
vision
to-
now. They got vision now. Jumps in, Ravage pop, BKBs immediately. Did not do what they wanted it to. And now self-stun onto Arteezy. He's under control. Axes go out. Still, they're just ignoring him for the moment. Running in with everybody else, trying to take down iceiceice in the CM. Ice tries to TP out. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, they just need to get out.
That really hurts. And you can see
Why
the
might
play.
die?
Immediately, Abed tries to cut the wave, but they need to go back to base. They got people inside. The chase down continues to come. There are BKBs wearing off now, though, and Arteezy jumps, finds the kill onto one. And now looking for a bit more. Comes out afterwards. Roar drops down, trying to get the kill onto the Alchemist. The right click coming through. They kill him off. Forces out that buyback fly with the big ulti. Will it be enough? They take down Quinn. Abed still standing tall throughout all of this. iceiceice is back up front and center against YawaR. The stun goes out. On it too. Arteezy now cleaning both. What a huge play. Quincy crew are gonna lose absolutely everybody. That was what a freaking great turnaround from Evil Geniuses. I mean, it cost a lot, but they got those kills.
3 buybacks from EG, but most likely they can force some on the Quincy crew side here at least. I think that's got to be your goal, is to try and force those buybacks, but it's very risky to do so because if you die without buyback, you may just lose the game.
That was an amazing team fight. At first from Quincy crew, that was really good, right? Like you saw the quick reflexes against that Ravage. I think there was a blink Ravage from Fog and he hit no one. Oh, mid lane?
Yeah, they're going in on it. But...
He has his invulnerability shard. Like these buybacks are worth it. Like the buyback means less, I think, on EG than Quincy crew because they're just generating more gold. They have the Death on puck. They're gonna take racks here.
They have what, 15 seconds left on most of these heroes. Question is, can they really hold without the Medusa? It feels pretty unlikely. And God, in the amount of time they're trying to hold these buybacks desperately, but as you said, they take a second set of racks because of it. I mean, how much does that matter, do you guys think?
I mean, I feel like personally the game's kind of in that same state as before, where it's just going to come down to the next big team fight. Like, who gets the better initiation, who secures themselves Aegis as well as cheese. It's going to be Rosh number 3, so you're looking at potential Refresher shard or an Ag shard for someone like Puck. This third Roshan is going to be kind of dictate who has the advantage.
And for sure, the third Roshan's gonna decide this game. I think that fight was actually bigger than it looks for EG. I mean, obviously they got a rack, they got all that gold, but most importantly, they got the EXP swing back in their advantage. With the 4 bounce runes, that was way more gold than I thought, honestly, during that fight. Because they used 3 buybacks for that, and they're still coming out like plus 7k on that fight.
Dire
But
are scanning.
just having these levels is huge. Like iceiceice gets against Kraken Shell damage. Like he's really tanky now. I don't think like there's no one who's gonna build Silver Edge on Quincy Crew, so he's gonna be able to stand in front again.
See here as well, Arteezy finishes off the rapier. YawaR deciding to go for the Daedalus instead. That's his call right now. And I mean, we've seen these games go one way or the other. If Arteezy can get on top of that Medusa, it's gonna be pretty freaking scary.
G-Smoke up, they want to take the fight here. Quinn will snag an arcane rune. That's a very impactful rune for the next team fight if he can hold on to it.
The gold, no buyback now, so they saved their buybacks but don't have the gold for buyback regardless. Right now, buybacks only on Beastmaster, Mirana, or the Dire. Looking for the jump. Ravage comes out. They didn't BKB in time.
They got YawaR.
Down Medusa dead. No buyback. Huge win as Quinn just tries to back away. Oh, it's devastating.
Dead.
Oh man, are they just gonna go in now? I mean, I don't know if they even saw that he bought out right there. They might think he still has buyback potentially.
I think you probably go anyways. I mean, there's a Beastmaster Roar, so you don't buy back Arteezy or Rapier, so I guess they're playing it safe. I mean, this is definitely the correct decision. I just want to see them go for throne.
Yeah,
they're gonna secure all the map control for the next Roshan here, because even if Medusa has buyout, like you wouldn't want to buy out just to get some control of the map, right? Like you want to buy back and turn into kills. But that pickoff pretty much secures Roshan, I think.
Unfortunately, Roche is not going to be up for 90 seconds plus. But yeah, the map control, they can get their tier 4 neutral items as well. So they're going to be...
It's hard for Quincy Crew to deal with that now. Now that you have the damage from Rapier, like you can see what this ladder can really do. Just locks one down, Alchemist pops them. And ideally, like on Medusa, you'll be standing in the front, making it hard for people to hit your teammates. But if you die in 1 second like that, you can't really do that.
Thing that's so interesting to me too is that this is supposed to be like the strength of Quincy Crew's lineup in a way, is getting that vision down with your Beastmaster, dewarding everything, and EG got the jump on him. Like I feel like that's sort of a lot of why Beastmaster's been so strong, is like the late game potential to be stronger, getting those team fights going your way.
Yeah, I think EG did a good job. Like I said that this mid lane of Rax wasn't as important, but honestly, like they proved me wrong there. They used the vision from it really well. Crew pushes in, and they can just jump to Medusa because someone has to show on it.
Light, ready to go, leveler down on the ground, but the rest of Quincy Crew nearby, they have sentries in the area. And that one just outside of range actually, but they do see the Hawk moving in. They're gonna kill the Hawk with it, but they don't see that Observer Ward.
And the tier 3s are being, tier 4s are being hit, so EG knows where they are.
Yeah, Nyx has a gem here, so they've got the answers for the Moonlight Shadow. They're just, yeah, playing the high ground game.
Behold!
Arteezy, he doesn't care. He's just blinking and hitting a backdoor tower.
He's fine.
I mean, if Medusa shows like that, like you're pretty free. They won't have damage to kill you without Medusa.
Crit, moving in,
Ooh,
force
staff
to the high ground. Fancy feet from Crit there. And LOA forced to TP to the tier 2 tower.
Got the D ward though. That's you know, that's pretty important.
That's pretty cute. And both teams have gems now. They know that this last fight will determine the game, so you're just putting any resources you can into just one fight.
Now a flicker on Arteezy. That's going to give him a lot more survivability. The movement speed is nice too, since he's playing without boots. Gonna help his game a lot.
19,000 gold lead, but the important things to watch for: buyback status. It's coming off of cooldown right now, pretty soon here for the Radiant. Still a minute and a half. LOA, oh, right on top of him, going for the voodoo switcheroo, but on the other side, they catch the kill on a crit. Abed,
oh wow,
thinking about
stolen gem
more. Wow.
Just charges in there, gets the gem. Good pickup.
Oh, and the timing of that, Roche is respawning early. It's come back up already, and Quincy Crew see it. They know this. Without Nyx, that's a lot of the control that EG are going to be lacking.
Yeah, so right now, Quincy Crew, they need an Aeon Disc or Aegis to play versus Ravage Alchemist combo, right? Because you can't let the Medusa die right away. So right now they're going, this is like their only win condition, I think, the game.
Radiant's
Quick respawn sets it up for them perfectly. Courier goes down. Nick's still 30 seconds away. Throwing
Smoke
out
up.
those arrows. Smoke behind. Looking for a play here. Arteezy ready to jump in on everybody. BKB right. BKB comes from YawaR, saving his life. And Abed, he snatches the Aegis. Oh, that was so needed. Now tries to jump away. Arteezy is in a world of hurt though. Goes for the flicker out of there. Manages to escape. Fly on the other
He's turning.
side,
Arteezy's
trying
back
to do
in.
So much damage in the jump onto Medusa. Now in trouble. Now dead. No buyback for Medusa. And look at that Alchemist run on in. Triple kill for our force. Dude, that flicker was sick. Oh my god, ultra kill, go for more, make my day please. He's chasing in, wants another. GG's already been called. Evil geniuses will not be denied.
Wow, what a team fight to end the game on. YawaR was ready for it. He knew the one play EG were going to make, got the fast fingers on the BKB, but Arteezy just played that team fight so well.